Dogen City is not like every other city we know. It is referred to as the floating city for a reason. It stands right in the middle of the ocean. Dogen City may be the most advanced infrastructural idea of our time. While there are still doubts about whether the sci-fi city will become a possibility, it is designed to solve some of the biggest problems faced by our current societies, such as overpopulation, climate change, healthcare, and others. Can this amphibious project be executed, or is it just an overambitious fairy tale? First, what is Dogen City and how did it come about? Climate change has been a major issue for years, and to tackle this growing problem, a Japanese infrastructural startup called N-Arc designed the blueprint for a smart city that will change urban development forever. With the rise in sea levels, the only way to acquire more residential space for future generations and climate refugees is no other than the ocean itself. According to facts, about 67% of cities in the world are located along the coasts. Therefore, flooding due to rising sea levels will endanger cities, factories, power plants, data centers, and more. There is a need to build structures that can adapt to flood. This led to the idea of the autonomous floating infrastructure, Dogen City. Is this project a form of land reclamation? Not at all. The concept of land reclamation completely differs from the Dogen City project. Typically, when a city near the coast becomes overpopulated or runs out of building space, architects and engineers take their creativity out to the waters and fill a part of it with rocks, sand, and clay to form a buildable land surface. After this is done, the engineers proceed to build structures a few distance into the sea. This is referred to as land reclamation, and this technique has been used for years. The Flevopolder Island in the Netherlands is one of the largest reclaimed islands. Other examples are the Hong Kong International Airport and the Kansai International Airport in Japan. The problem with this form of infrastructure is that the rising sea levels make them unsustainable. This means that we need to change the way we think when building cities. To create a habitable place for future generations, we would have to dig deep into uncharted territories of design, explore ideas that defy logic, and take experimental building to a whole new level to break boundaries and discover new ways to survive. Floating islands are some of the most interesting forms of accommodation. There are the floating Uros Islands located at the Lake Titicaca in Peru, and the rural floating village in Cambodia. Offshore rigs are also floating structures and serve as small cities of their own, accommodating maritime workers. Today, this concept is taking on a more complex and futuristic look. What problems will Dogen City solve? The innovative sci-fi city is designed to have both social and economic impact. On the social aspect, it will provide solutions to natural disasters accommodating climate refugees, improving the marine environment, and others, while economically, it will harbor new technologies and businesses and will solve security problems, providing national defense against terrorism and hacking. How is the city designed? Dogen City is designed as a ring-shaped city with a diameter of 1.58 kilometer and a circumference of approximately 4 kilometer, covering a total of 390 acres of water space. The ring will be divided into 24 compartments and will hold a total population of 40,000 people in just the first module. If this project is successful, it will be replicated over and over, bringing forth more futuristic cities with the most developed technologies to boost tourism and the lifestyle of its inhabitants. Dogen City will have an annual power generation of about 22,265,000 kilowatts and an annual water consumption of 2 million liters. Annual food production is predicted at 6,862 tons, while annual garbage disposal is about 3,288 tons. The food production technology will rely mostly on the readily available seawater, which will be refined to serve as a source of nutrients for the plants. There's a lot more to the city than just providing a safe place from natural disasters and the effects of climate change. The standalone city is fully self-sufficient and utilizes various forms of sustainable energy. It will also accommodate hospitals, schools, food production facilities, stadiums, laboratories, parks, security centers, residential areas, hotels, manufacturing industries, offices, power plants, mobile islands, and other infrastructure. The concept city will have three infrastructural elements. The first is the habitable ring, consisting of public housing with a ship-shaped structure that protects it from tsunamis. The second is the underwater data center, where data relating to healthcare, drug discovery, urban management OS, and others will be stored under cool, optimal temperature. The third element is the autonomous floating architecture, consisting of food production centers, parks, hotels, residential areas, and public facilities. Oh, and before we forget, it will also have a dedicated launch site for spacecrafts and space exploration. The interesting thing about the structures within the bay is that they are flexible and can be reconfigured depending on what kind of structure is needed at the moment. Healthcare at Dogen City. Residents of the city will have access to smart healthcare and will receive daily telemedicine to improve their lives of its residents. Information about the health of residents will be collected through data entry pathways and stored in banks, business and commerce. Many futuristic cities are designed to serve as a means of economic revenue. Think about cities such as the Neom Line, city in Saudi Arabia, Tolosa in the United States, Oceanics Busan in South Korea, and others. One thing these new generation cities do is boost economic revenue. Aside from sustainability and the desire to provide a better living for residents, these cities are places where tourism would flourish, and Dogen City is no different. It is designed to be a disease-free utopia where residents and visitors can get the best and most advanced medical treatment that is exclusive because of technological advancement. How is the disaster preparedness for this city? The Dogen City might seem vulnerable on first appearance because it is located in the ocean that is often prone to extreme weather and seasonal increases in sea levels and is open to possible attacks. But on the contrary, there are a good number of measures put in place to mitigate any form of risk. All servers controlling data will be replaced every 5 years and equipment adequately maintained. Underwater anchoring systems will mitigate the effects of earthquakes and tsunamis, and as far as security goes, there are plans against EMP attacks, cyber terrorism, and other defense mechanisms. What challenges is the Dogen City project facing? With the approval of such a mammoth project by the United Nations, there is only one thing standing in its way: funding. Building such an advanced and complex city out at sea and maintaining it will cost an outrageous amount of money. This is why the project will be geared towards making profits. Yuki, the founder of the Dogen City idea, understands that construction is a numbers game, and the only way to generate the amount of money needed to embark on this project is to shift the focus from creating a masterpiece that solves the core problem of climate change to a business of creating product and value. Many businesses around the world have been able to secure a large investments in the capital market because of the value they possess and the idea of ROI. Many of these businesses also operate with big data, increasing their commercial value. With all of these in consideration, Dogen City has taken on a new path. It is first, a medical tourism destination where tourists can get the most sophisticated medical care in the world. Imagine a tourist location where inhabitants can access robot-operated surgeries under meticulous AI monitoring systems and telemedicine. That would certainly attract investors, and if that doesn't, there's also an undersea data center that would greatly contribute to the generation of funds. One thing about data centers is that they require a lot of energy to run, and because running a data center generates high temperatures, the whole structure will be built underwater. What's the progress on Dogen City? There is undoubtedly great excitement about building the floating city. However, there's no concrete plan to begin anytime soon. A project of this magnitude will require years of planning, design, and consultation with some of the best engineers, architects, and designers in the world to understand the intricacies of the design and the structural challenges that will be faced during construction. It is a project that will cost a significant amount of money, and therefore isn't a trial-and-error experiment. Yuki was asked how much it would take to complete the Dogen City project. He was unable to provide an exact figure, and this of course is due to how big the project is, not to mention the unpredictable mechanics of building in the ocean. It is safe to say that Dogen City will probably be the most expensive city ever built. When the plan is fully developed, it will serve as a blueprint for other countries and continents, especially the developing regions that may have the highest number of climate refugees. Land cities have been at the forefront of architectural plans, but as sea levels rise, we are consistently losing parts of our land to the waters. This also means that we are running short of sand rocks and other elements that were usually used for land reclamation. As the human population increases, along with the need for affordable housing, there is a need to build more structures to match the need. This is easier said than done, because we are gradually running out of buildable space. Yuki's design may change in the future, or the vision may take a different turn. But one thing is for sure, we will have to make drastic changes to our building ideas to survive what the future may have in store. Amazing sci-fi designs such as the Dogen City aren't too far from our reality, especially when planning for a sustainable future. What do you think about the Dogen City project? Do you think it would measure up to expectations, and would it stand the test of time? Give us your thoughts and leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video and want to continue to learn about the world's biggest projects of tomorrow, be sure to subscribe to Stark Luxury.